We're going to start in a comfortable seated position this morning, and you can do that with your legs just crossed in Sukhasana, easy pose. Or if you're feeling a little more comfortable, take one heel in close to the perineum and then place the other ankle on top and tuck the toes between the calf and thigh. So this is kind of a modified version of Siddhasana, accomplished pose. And then from that position, you can just place your hands on your knees and sit with a tall spine, relaxed body. Close the eyes. And take a moment here to really feel your spine. Bring your attention into the spine to the best of your ability and observe. Starting at the root, notice that slight curling under of the tailbone as it rolls up. The awareness moves up through the sacral bone. And then it starts to dip back in towards the body in the lumbar spine, becoming a little concave. And as you move up through the spine, moving into the thoracic area, middle back, convex curve. And then continue to draw your awareness up through the middle back, upper back, and into the cervical spine. Once again, back to a concave curve. And ending at that very first cervical vertebrae. Become aware of the placement of the skull, lifting the back of the occipital bone and drawing the chin in slightly. Feel the crown of the head lifting towards the heavens, and the crown is about 2 fingers behind the middle of the top of the head. And then imagine as if there were a string attached to the crown and someone or something above pulling that string up even higher, so that there's more and more subtle length coming into the spine and in between the discs. As you feel that upward pull, continue to relax your shoulders. Relax the base of the body, the legs, the feet. And find this beautiful balance between grounding energy and upliftment. And while maintaining some awareness in the spine, begin to observe the breath. And as it comes in through the nostrils, it fills the chest first. And that gently reduces the thoracic curve as the heart lifts forward. And then the rib cage just fills with breath, widening the chest to the sides. And then the last part of the breath filling into the belly or the diaphragm. And that reduces the lumbar curve a little bit as you begin the exhalation breath. So the exhalation starts to pull the navel in and up, reducing that lumbar curve, pushing the breath back out through the rib cage, back out through the chest, and out through the nostrils. So again, that pattern of breathing in through the nostrils, fill chest, then ribs, then belly, feeling that slight back bend, reduction of the thoracic curve, and then on the exhalation, navel pulling in, starts to push the breath back up and out, and there's a reduction of the lumbar curve. And continue to breathe in this pattern. And just like there's those curves of the spine, almost like waves, imagine the breath like a constant flow, like a wave that comes in, peaks and recedes. The breath is smooth, filled with continual motion. So even at the edge of the breath where it feels like perhaps it's stood still, there still is a very slight movement. And then there's the exhalation that begins. And just when it feels like the breath is completely let go, completely receded, there's still a little bit of pull, at least internally, and then the inhale begins again. And then if you haven't already, start to add in that Ujjayi sound, ocean wave or whisper type sound to the breath. This slight constriction in the back of the throat is still a nasal breath, but we hear it resonating in the chest. And it really does sound like an ocean wave. And so it reminds us to stay connected to the breath, and we can almost hear that peak of the wave, and then also the receding. It's very soothing to our nervous system. And so our lives are like this, constantly moving, constantly changing. That there are moments when we feel elated, there's that peak, and then there's moments where we recede, we pull inward. And we often seem to really appreciate the times when we're expansive, when things really seem exciting. But there's something really beautiful also about that moment of receding, about going inward, gathering the energy for the next time around when that ocean wave peaks again. And the yogi has the mindset of being able to watch these cycles, recognizing them for what they are, not necessarily attaching to them or attaching any kind of identity to the moments when we are peaking or the moments when we're receding, but rather to be that constant observer as these changes happen around us. So there's a great sense of inner stability in the role of the witness. And bring your hands together in front of your heart, let your thumbs touch your sternum, and bow your head to your hands. We're going to begin with the chant of Om 3 times. Deep inhale in. Just lower your chin to your chest and take your time to gradually open your eyes and come back into the room. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope today's practice was meaningful. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And below in the description is a link to the Patreon account. I really would appreciate your support. Namaste.